Hello there, it is great to have you all on another episode of Business Digest, the very first episode of the year 2020. Do join us on each and every episode as we explore new business developments and economic growth of this year. My name is Diana Iriza. Stay tuned for what's coming up. Now, as we kick off today's episode, we're going to be exploring the African film industry for the very first time. The African film industry is a fast-growing economic sector that has a great potential of fostering economic growth within the continent. Have a look.
Today was the opening of an initiative that gathers some of Africa's brightest when it comes to inspiration and creativity. The Creative Africa Exchange Initiative seeks to transform the African creative economy by setting up a vendor showcase where African investors can share their achievements and goals, bringing stakeholders together to find solutions to the challenges facing Africa's creative industry. How do we create space where we can dream out loud and not be judged, where we can dream of an Africa where we are proud of where we are? Carol Karemera emphasized about creating a policy that opens doors for arts and artists in general. And she said that cultural industries could boost a country's economy and help maintain the African cultural as well.
I think this transformation process has to be done in different steps, and one of it is, of course, how do we organize, how to create ecosystems, mechanisms, but programs to make sure that this transformation is not only a one-day thing or one-year thing, but a sustainable transformation. Here in the context of the creative industries, I think what is really important here is like one of the first time that we have different stakeholders coming together. It's not only creatives, we have policymakers, we have financial institutions, we have innovators, we have people involved in new technology, etc. All those forces are combined for me to probably, it's maybe a historical point for Africa when we think for ourselves and through our own reality. So I think it's the moment when we think what is really there in terms of, it's like a diamond, but a diamond without any work on it, or jewelry or people working on it, has almost no value. But here we look at it and we put all the people around to see how can we make and work on it to make it a truly beautiful diamond. Yeah.
Bubu Design was one of the talented Africans that attended the Creative Africa Exchange and performed. In about 2 minutes, he painted an illustration of President Paul Kagame.
C'est un exemplaire. La première fois hier que je suis venu ici à Rwanda.
Rwanda is an example. This is my first visit in Rwanda and I have been shocked. Couldn't tell if it was an African country because there are many European countries that can't be compared to this country. All presidents should come and learn from this country. I'm saying this for true. We must make a move. Personally, I paint using varnish and it's normal. We must use all our skills and we have to do it without negatively affecting anyone. Let's innovate because we can do it all as long as we're not being a hindrance to anyone else.
De créer, en fait, pour ça. Nous Africains, pour réussir de faire de l'art, vraiment, de créer vraiment.
Alright, so we are now joined by a multi-Oscar nominated actor, Mr. Jaimon Honson, and he also happens to be the main actor of films such as Blood Diamond and also The Gladiator. Thank you so much for taking the time to have this interview with Rwanda TV.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, so how would you describe the African film industry? Is it on the rise, or are we still where we were 10 years, 6 years ago?
Well, the industry, obviously, it's doing well. To some extent, financially, it's doing well. Obviously, Hollywood is looking at it, as a very bankable industry. But again, how do you secure the monetization of that industry, that business, and I think that's the thing that the rest of the world, including us, who are, we're struggling with that. We're struggling to see how we can have a proper structure in which we and again, the Nollywood film industry is one of the second best profitable industry in the world of cinema, but at the same time it's difficult to benefit from it, and it's difficult to sort of like trace and see the transparency in how productive it is, how progressive it is. But it's a tough one. Evidently, I'm on the Hollywood stage, and it's difficult for me to sort of like, I guess, lower my image to, again, I guess what I'm looking for is to try to champion films with the African narrative, but on the international stage, yeah.
In Rwanda, we also have an emerging film industry. Are there any specific skills that you believe Rwanda or the Rwandan film industry can learn from Hollywood?
Yes, I think there's
a variety, obviously.
Well, there's a variety, and I think the structure, and I think Hollywood, known how to do it well, and knows how to package it well. Again, we also need to find a way for the continent to distribute film on the international, sort of like on the international level. If it's to make films that go straight to videos, where we don't have a stage where, to sort of like showcase that, it's very difficult to, because then you're left with the only outlet, which is the Western distribution. And the Western distribution can pretty much shut you down, When you have great films that speaks of the plight of the African, it's sometimes difficult without, without showcasing how we were abused and used and abused by the Western world. You see what I mean? So powerful stories, kind of like Blood Diamond, or difficult stories to tell. And this was one of the stories that they, Hollywood actually championed, knowing that there were also, the ramification of that that movie comes from the West. You see what I'm saying?
Where are the opportunities for African film industries? Do you think African industries could tap into series or online films or cinema films? Where do you think most of the opportunities are?
I think the opportunities are all over. As much as, obviously television tend to have stronger impact. Feature films, movies are very glamorous, right? And I think also for us to somewhat have a voice in ways we count our stories, we necessarily need to have a platform in which to distribute our films. If we have to rely on the West to distribute our films, then we're left to, they can dictate the pros and cons of what you're saying and what you want to, show out there. So it's inevitable for us to have an instrument for distribution.
Great. So in Rwanda, we have this campaign that is going on called Visit Rwanda. It's basically a campaign and a program that promotes tourism in Rwanda.
I've seen that program, and I've seen certain aspects of it, certainly in the West, in Europe and all that, and I think it's beautiful. And certainly your president in this country, Paul Kagame, have clearly understood the idea of packaging your own story.
How can Rwanda use this program to gain visibility in the film industry, in Hollywood?
Well, we need to smartly champion interesting stories. You know, again, kind of like diplomatically, we told the story of Blood Diamond. Kind of like you know, somebody like Steven Spielberg, you know, with his own money, felt compelled to tell the story of what America is today and where America came from, which was a little bit of the story of the African, you know, the extended souls of Africa in in America. The transatlantic trade, you know, spoke about that, and so it's up to us how we package it. Again, everything's about packaging. You know, you may not have a great story, you may not have a very profound story, but the way in which you package that can make a film very successful.
Right. Thank you so much for every information you've shared with us, and it was a pleasure having this interview with you, and I hope you get to enjoy the rest of your stay here in Rwanda.
It's a beautiful country, and I can't wait to come back to so I can do the sightseeing without having to, you know, be talking to you about it.
All right.
I look forward.
It will be a good opportunity for me to have another interview with you again. But anyway, thank you so much. Now, if you have noticed, the Kigali Kiosks are back on the streets of Kigali, but this time they are back in a completely new form. They are back to replace the old metallic kiosks and to reflect the true definition of a smart city. We're going to be talking to the institutions that are in charge of this new development to let us know what we Rwandans can expect from these kiosks and the kind of services we can get from these kiosks. Have a look.
Rwanda now is trying to develop. We are working in different sectors. We are in business development in different sectors. We are in construction of different houses, but for us, we are specialized in smart wooden houses. That's the reason why we are in partnership with the city of Kigali. We have here two products. There is wooden smart houses, which has different services. We have public toilets, which is a main project in partnership with the city of Kigali. You know, if now these days we are talking about Visit Rwanda, we are talking about smart city, and Rwanda is promoting anything related to environment. So we decided to say, how can we build smart public toilets? Secondly, we have also shoe polishing areas. You know, as everybody is moving in the city, you can need a place where you can polish your shoe. So in that case, you need a specific place. You need a smart place where you can have those kind of services. We have also a coffee shop, which is already set, and very soon will be open. We are planning to build 35 public toilets in the Kigali city and 256 kiosks. You can see in the whole city we are having different people who sell activities related to telecom, like mobile money, Airtel money, Irembo services. So all these people, they are on street. So we decided to say, what can we do to help the citizen to contribute for the economic growth in the country? That's the reason why we are here.
We have a few projects going on right now. So far we have a kiosks that we are deploying all over the country, starting with Kigali city, and then we have recreation parks. For now, we right now have the Gikondo recreation park, and then we have the coffee houses. Maybe you're going to move around and you're going to be able to see them. Yes, so far those are the projects we are working on right now.
Actually, this is the phase one. We'll be growing with time. And for us, we said, let's first start with 256. And that's the reason why before we go into that activity, we decided first to make a registration of all these agents, to identify how many agents do we have in the city, then move around all provinces to know exactly how many are there. So for now we have already identified 5,000 agents that are already registered in our system. We have developed a system called ASAP. ASAP is Agent Service Access Point. We conducted this activity thanks to Rwanda Utility Regulatory Agency and all telecom agencies, telecom companies. So after doing that registration, now we have a real figure of how many agents do we have in the city. So for us, we are not having any problem with that. And then with the statistics records that we have, I think it will help very much and solve the problems of all these agents that does sell their products, different products to the community. And we hope very much that it will help so much.
For now, it's the information. So many people are not informed of what we are doing and what's happening. So maybe such a platform is going to help us put the word out there so that people know, and then maybe come to Rebel as well to come and be able to purchase the kiosks. Yes, so for the challenge is information basically. People really don't know what we're doing, and this is going to be helping the people at large usually. So maybe it's information. For now we're going to try more and sensitize people, let them know what we're doing and how it's going to help them and how our services are going to be helpful to the public. Yes, so far that's it.
Responded positively because most of them, they were saying that they are having a problem maybe during the rainy season. It was a very big problem for them. And you can see if Rwanda is raining very much and you find somebody in the umbrella, he cannot resist during the rain season. So for them, they appreciate it and they say this will include more services that they will be doing. Right now, banks, they are very much interested to have these numbers of professional agents well vetted, registered in the system, and this will reduce these fraudulent activities that we commonly face in the city, as all of these people will be registered. So we hope that it will reduce the crime rate and having a good number of people who are very much trained, having a good discipline, and having the very good way of delivering the services to the citizen. So it will help very much.
Okay, the way the youth are going to be involved, for example, kiosk that is right behind me, we're trying to employ the youth. Basically, people who have just finished high school, and instead of them just sitting home and not having anything to do, they could come and get a kiosk and then have services like mobile money agents. Some of them can work with Irembo services. So that's how it's going to be helping the youth.
Yeah, for the agents, that will depend on their way of working. And you know, our environment is very safe. Rwanda is very safe. Everybody moves in the city without any doubt or any problem. So for them, they are like willing to operate 24 hours. It will depend on the demand from the customers. But for these public toilets, it's a must. All public toilets will be operating 24 hours. That is our wish. And you know, Rwanda, many people, they are moving during even at night. So for us, we said if these public toilets operate 24 hours, it will be so helpful.
So maybe by July, we're going to have enough of them all over. But so far, we have a few. The one here at Trondex is it's kind of the first one. So, but then we're moving on and we're building more and more. So you're going to be able to be seeing so many of them around the country.
All right, this is where we come to the end of today's episode. I want to thank you for joining us today. Make sure to tune in again next week, same time, same place. My name is Diana Iriza, and I'll see you all next time.